We're going to talk to the person behind a new report that indicates that while Canada is undergoing its largest ever $1 trillion wealth transfer, many families remain unprepared, and financial advisors don't have the resources to support them. That's according to a report from Willful. It's an online service that allows Canadians to create legal estate planning documents such as their will. Let's get more on this from Erin Bury. She is CEO of Willful. Erin, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So it sounds like 51% of Canadians have a will. So it sounds like the boomers a lot of them may have taken on this task. Of course, not all, but the younger people have just been postponing it.
Absolutely. The older you are, the more likely you are to have a will or to have had the conversations with your family about estate planning. But when we look to younger generations like Gen Z, only 10% of them have these documents in place. Not surprising, since it's probably not top of your list when you're in your 20s, but the whole point of end of life and estate planning is that the unexpected can happen anytime. And so this shows that across generations, not just younger Canadians, are putting these plans off.
And an interesting one here, and I do want to get Greg Newman's input on this. You find that advisors are just not taking this on. And of course, sometimes when a client dies, they lose the account, they lose the book of business. So for business reasons, they should be on top of this, but also to help clients better.
Absolutely. I mean, when we surveyed advisors, 40% of them said they've already lost clients because their client passed away and the spouse or adult children took the book of business somewhere else. When we polled Canadians, they said, yeah, advisors should be talking to us about estate planning, but only about half of them have had their advisor bring up the conversation. And this is largely because advisors are unprepared to talk about it. They're not estate planning experts, and so they can struggle to bring up this, let's admit it, uncomfortable topic.
Hi, Erin. Love what you're doing, and I totally agree. It's a area of the marketplace that absolutely needs to be well covered, particularly advisors. It's really the core of what we should be doing, right? Like, estate planning and all things holistic wealth. You guys have a mission, I think, which is it's so horrible for people, to deal with death and to not have a will, right? Like, I mean, it's just, so a will is so important. Do you guys also do work with corporate executorship? Do you find that that's an area that people are unprepared for as well? Sorry,
Greg, before you, what do you mean there, Greg? Corporate?
So basically, there's two things. When somebody dies, there is, if you don't have a will, that's really messy. But also, how do you go through the motions of filing all the documentations and all the matters to do with death? That can take a lot of expertise too. So that's what corporate executorships, our experts are doing.
Erin, sorry I cut you off. Go ahead, please.
Not at all. I was just going to say, yeah, my husband and I started the company 8 years ago, and we help average Canadians create estate planning documents online. Right now, we don't support corporate executor appointments, so you can appoint, most people are appointing a spouse, an adult child in that role, but we have some great partnerships with folks like CIBC and Scotiabank, so certainly something that's on our radar. And you hit on a really key point, which is most people being an executor are doing it for the first time. Most people creating a will are doing it for the first time. So the big gap is education, which is really what this report shows. People aren't having the conversation with their own family members. They're not having the conversation with advisors. And then it's just a big mess for folks to clean up when someone passes away.
It is interesting, the enormous amount of work being an executor. Anybody who's had contact, I've never been, I hope never, that's a job I don't want to do. I don't much like paperwork. There are people out there who do, but I think they're fairly rare. But in any case, are you going to branch out into that, do you think? Start advising people how to handle that task? Because that would be a big gap in the market.
Absolutely. I mean, we already educate executors on what the role is and the steps that they should take after their loved one passes away. But, we started 8 years ago with just offering the legal documents, wills, powers of attorney. And so the goal is ultimately to help people create comprehensive end-of-life plans, outlining their funeral and burial wishes. Where are the important pieces of paperwork like life insurance? What about passwords? Who is your financial advisor? And, how should your family get in touch with them? So absolutely really guiding family members through that process when someone passes away is a key part of the mission.
Yeah, I think probably all of us should do a kind of a death book, a folder with our passwords and where our accounts are, and yeah.
We should do them. Will we do them? I don't know, but that's really the point of this new product that we have for financial advisors. We have some great new partners like Designed Wealth Management, who is really empowering their advisors to equip clients with estate plans. If they are the thought leaders, if they are bringing it up in every meeting you have with them, you're probably going to have a bigger sense of accountability. It's like that gym buddy. How do I make sure you actually go to your personal trainer?
Now, Erin, this is maybe a bit outside your remit, but you do hear it's very tricky when a parent starts losing their faculties. The kids are trying to manage their finances, but the bank turns around and says, well, come on, no, we can't. It's not your account.
You're hitting on such a great point, which is that a will is so important. It outlines what happens when you pass away. But there are also these documents called power of attorney documents. And these outline what happens if you need someone to make decisions for you, either on your health care or on your finances. And the key here is that you have to create these documents when you have the mental capacity. Again, it goes back to don't wait until you need it. Do it before it's needed, because if you lose capacity, it's too late. And so we offer power of attorney documents on Willful. You can even get forms online from the government in many provinces, but it doesn't have to cost a lot of money or take a lot of time to get these things in place from home.
Fascinating, Erin. We'll have to have you back. Erin, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Erin Bury, CEO of Willful.